and I will be interviewing her.
Hi, I'm Chelsie. I'm from the Big Stone Cree Nation in Wabasca, Demray. I'm currently living in Edmonton, Alberta.
What was life before music?
Before music, before ever picking up the guitar, before ever singing, I grew up with my grandparents. My grandparents raised me. My mother was too young to, she was too young to take care of me. She was 17 years old. I grew up with boys and doing what my grandparents were doing, and I wasn't allowed to go and visit anywhere, not even like family or not my friends, not even across the street. My grandfather was really overprotective, and being a tomboy growing up with boys, I got bullied a lot in school. I was really shy and quiet, and I just didn't have any friends. I didn't have anybody growing up. So when I turned 11 years old, the only thing that I had in my life was music. I loved to sing along. My mother was a singer. My godfather, Raymond Young, he sang and he played guitar. My grandfather just loved it. For so many years my grandfather was, I grew up in an alcoholic home. It wasn't as bad as what it used to be, the stories that I heard before. I still grew up in a really great home, but there was a lot of alcoholism going on there. My grandfather gave me my guitar when I was 11 years old, when he knew that I could sing. And he just kind of put it on my lap and he was like, "Here, learn." And my godfather, he took the time out almost every day just to teach me, teach me rhythm, teach me the chords, teach me music, teach me when to sing, how to sing. I also had a keyboard piano, and we would have these jam sessions every afternoon. My grandfather would force me to practice my singing, and it was more like a chore to me, It was like I couldn't go do anything else until sing louder. It was like, oh my God. And I was a really quiet, shy person, growing up.
To get used to it.
Yeah.
So now when you sing, is it just easy for you to just sing in front of a crowd? Then
the singing part is easy. The talking part isn't. It's so hard to, it was so funny when I started out. I'd just be like, "Hi, my name is Chelsie Young," and then I'd start singing. Really awkward. So, my godfather, he passed away when I was 12, and because of already being bullied and whatever was going on at home, and growing up with a cousin of mine who was a big bully too, I fell into depression. And when my uncle died, I became suicidal, and I didn't really have anybody to talk to, anybody to turn to, except for music. So anytime that I felt that, like, crying or somebody hurt my feelings again, and or my parents were mean to me, or my grandparents were mean to me, I picked up my guitar.
And that was kind of like your escape.
Yes. It was my escape. It was my positive outlet. And being that age, that you can't talk back to your family, friends, and your parents and stuff, right? So anything that I had to say, I'd write it down and I'd sing it.
So when your godfather passed away, did you ever lose your touch of music ever? After he passed away, was there ever a time where you felt like you didn't want to pick up your guitar because of that connection you had with him and him always helping you and, you know, supporting you?
No, actually, I felt like he was there with me. And I believed that he was so talented. He was the most talented person that I'd ever known. And I didn't want all of that to go to waste. All of his teachings and his hard work and everything to go to waste. I wanted to continue singing and keep telling people, oh, my uncle taught me this. It was Raymond Young who taught me how to play guitar. It was, he's here with me, and he's, you know, I know that he's smiling down on me, and he's so proud, and he'd be encouraging me right now. But, you know, like, there were times where it did become really hard to think that way, to remember him, and I took it so hard for so many years. At one point, I did want to put the guitar down and just sing, or just stop singing, and it was never both, though. It was never both. It was one or the other that I wanted to do.
What is it, singing or playing guitar that made you more connected to him? Which one was it, if you could choose one?
Guitar.
Guitar.
Yeah.
Tell me, what does it look like in heaven? Is it peaceful? Is it free like they say? Does the sun shine bright forever? Have your fears and your pain gone away? Here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. Here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky. I hope you're singing in the angels' choir. And I hope the angels know what they have. I bet it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived. So tell me, what do you do up in heaven? All your days filled with love and light. Is there music? Is there art in a mansion? Tell me, are you happy? Are you all alive? Here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. Here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness.
So I started, well, as far as I can remember, I was 11 when I started. And I'm 27 years old now, so 16 years. I started performing when I was 13. I entered in talent shows at school, and the first time I performed, I choked. And I had the whole school laughing at me. And I don't know what it was within me where I just said, no, that's not how I'm gonna let them remember me. I told them, start the song over, and they were so quiet. They were so quiet, and at the end, I thought I was like ruining the song or something. I'm making a complete, joke of myself. But the applause at the end was that first applause that got me hooked. It's like the adrenaline, that rush that I don't think anything in this world could top that feeling. I would sit and I would daydream to sing at the Grand Ole Opry with George Jones.
Hold on, feel like you're gonna fight this fight that you gotta fight on your own. She said, put your faith in God and He's the one who's gonna see you through it. When it's all lose faith, there's always gonna be another way. Don't give up now, the light is always brighter on the outside. Promise you that you're gonna make it through it. You'll be fine. Go on, girl. You got nothing left to lose. So much things to prove. Show what's inside of you. Tell what you came through.
What are some of the struggles that you faced with music? Like when you were just starting your career with music, what were some of the stuff that discouraged you, basically?
My grandparents, they were just already too old to come to my shows. They couldn't come to the talent shows and or any performances that I had, even just locally. But I think the hardest thing about all of that was my mother. My mother she was a singer, and she somewhere, I guess she had gotten so discouraged about it, and she was too shy and she didn't want to pursue music. She didn't have my back in it either. She didn't show up to the talent shows that I would invite her to or anything. I tried to sing to her. She would love to hear me sing, but that was about it. She didn't tell me to do anything with it. You know, just sit there and learn songs. And she also, she didn't really like any of my music. I never heard her say that she was proud of me growing up, and that was the hardest thing. But one of the very things about me growing up was that I really wanted to make her proud. I just wanted to hear her say, I am proud of you, and I am happy, and I'm happy for you, and I love you, and all those things that any child, you know, wants to hear. 27 years old, and I still want to hear it.
Whiskey, please, bartender. Keep it coming till I don't remember at all how bad it hurts when you're gone. Na 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 na. Turn the music up a little bit louder. It's gotta get it past the midnight hour. Maybe tomorrow it won't be this hard. Who
young Aboriginal youth who want to pursue a music career, what would it be?
Pursue a music career. If you love it, if you love something so much, just you don't let go of it. No matter how many times people try to break you down, don't let go of it. Because music is not about everybody else around you. It really honestly is about yourself. And if you make music about yourself and you do it because it makes you happy, it makes you feel good, it makes you proud, all those wonderful feelings, and that is the only way you'll end up going out to inspire in the end. You do it for yourself and try to come out of whatever situations or anything that you're going through, good or bad in life, and you just keep pursuing it and you keep at it. And you only do it because you love it, because you're passionate about it. I'll go as far as music can take me, and so far I've met amazing people and I've been to amazing places and gotten the opportunity to do amazing things. It's worth it.
Hey Chelsea, it's Terry Ann. Can't wait to meet you and keep it up, keep doing the good work. We'll see each other soon.
I was running away from my domestic violent partner, 2 of them actually. They made me feel like I was worthless and I was nothing. It stripped me of my pride, my dignity. I didn't feel beautiful anymore or smart or anything. I was just basically raised to be this woman who had to cook and clean and take care of the children and don't have an opinion and don't do anything with your life, and and I've always been just a fighter. I'd be fighting my grandparents, they're telling me not to go anywhere, and I was fighting that too, and then now I'm like fighting the world around me and the stuff that I had gotten myself into, and kind of trying to prove that you can still come out of it without losing your sanity.
Baby, I'm looking for a man to hold me tight, hold me in your arms tonight, swear it'll be alright. Baby, please don't let me go. I want you to know I'm all yours tonight. Baby, what have we got to lose? Let's break all the rules. Be my babe tonight.
Have you ever been in any risky situations?
Yes, a few. Before having my son, first time I fell in addictions, I made really poor choices, and friends and people that I surrounded myself with. And I was always told, never fall asleep at a party. Never do this, don't do this, and don't do that. And I always said that I wouldn't, but it happens. You don't know that somebody's going to slip a date rape drug in your drink. You don't know that you're going to drink that much and pass out, or jump in a vehicle with somebody and they're going to take you somewhere that you don't want to go. Or go to someone's house to have a few drinks, someone that you've known for a little while, and suddenly you're not allowed to leave and they're locking you in the bedroom while the police are looking for you. I was kidnapped when I was 19 years old here in Edmonton. A friend had left me here, and I didn't know anybody other than my aunt and my uncle, and at the time I wasn't very close with them. They were on their way to pick me up at West Edmonton Mall, and I had been crying and just really stressed out and upset and scared. And these guys come up to me and they asked me if I wanted to buy some marijuana, and I told them no. They walked away, came back and said, like, are you okay? They're acting like really sympathetic and caring, and is there anything that we can do to help you? I just told them no, I'm fine, I'm okay. I've got my aunt and uncle coming right now, and I'm okay. I went outside to have a smoke, and they come and sat beside me. Long story short, the guy had a gun, drug mule. He wanted me to carry his drugs for him. And in order for me to do that, they took me to the vehicle, pistol whipped me and hit me a couple of times and forced me to smoke crystal meth and crack. When I was finally just really out of it, I was just doing whatever they wanted me to do and following this guy around. And I wasn't with him for very long, but long enough to almost have a couple of run-ins with the police and sell some drugs to some people on the street. And this was just actually just down the street here, a couple of blocks from here was our last location. And he had me stand up against the wall. He said, don't move, just wait for me, I'll be right back. And my mind was just going off like crazy, like, this is it, Chelsie, you need to run, you need to run, you need to go. Like, you're not a victim, you're not someone's hostage, you're not going to go down like this, you know, whatever. Like, I was thinking the worst, like, what could happen from here? What's gonna happen tonight if I am so tired and I fall asleep? Or, you know, I didn't know what else to do but to drop everything that I had in my pockets and in my sleeves, drop it and run. And my lungs hurt so bad, they were like burning, my throat was burning, my sides were like, I don't know, I was getting cramps everywhere in my legs, and I didn't stop. I ran from Stony Plain all the way to downtown. And I was like running down back alleys and streets and coming back and forth, and the only place that I knew to go was downtown. I made it there, made another phone call, and I finally had gotten picked up from there. And the police, they wanted a statement, and I got scared. I shut down and I wouldn't give them anything. So the guy never got caught. We think that we can trust our Aboriginal men also. It was an Aboriginal man that took me, that kidnapped me. I found this out later. If they get me high and put all the drugs on me, then it makes me look like I'm the drug addict and drug dealer. And it doesn't matter what I have to say to the police because I'm Aboriginal and with another Aboriginal man who is selling the drugs. That was the whole purpose of him kidnapping me. He had lost his money in the cab that we took from West Edmonton Mall to here, and because that was the only thing he was carrying. But he thought, because he was so high on drugs, he thought that I had the money and I stole it from him. So he took me down by where the trees are, just down the road here, and he ripped off my sweater and my pants and held me up against the tree just to search me for his money. And then he threw me on the ground, sat on top of me, and forced more drugs into me. The second thing that I had gone through was an alcoholic by this time, and I had met some people in Lac La Biche and they seemed really awesome inside at like Lac La Biche, just a few blocks from where I lived. But what was really stupid of me was that I trusted drug dealers. They were drug dealers. And I didn't do the drugs, but I sat there and I drank with them. They gave me alcohol all the time, and it was fine. Until I got invited to a house just right outside Lac La Biche. I borrowed a phone and texted my aunt that was coming into Lac La Biche. I wanted to ride home, and they didn't like that. The guy didn't like that. He was not happy that I was leaving, that I wanted to leave. So he slipped something in my drink. And I just remember having the one beer, and suddenly I was in and out of the blackout for 2 days. He kept giving me the phone to tell my family, kept telling them, just tell them that you're fine, they're just blowing up my phone. But then he would go and say that he lost the phone when I needed to use it. He's like, I don't know where it is, it's gone, it's whatever, right? He hit it on me. And he'd keep inviting people over to make it seem like everything was fine, and that I was just getting really drunk. Pulling out the hard liquor and pouring me drinks. It wasn't the hard liquor that hit me, and I know that it wasn't, because I had at that point drank so much that I couldn't black out. But I was in a bedroom with a girl, and we were screaming. We had stuff. We locked the doors on our side and blocked the doors with the bed and the dresser. And we jumped out of the bedroom window and went running for the road, like up the driveway, where we saw a police officer. Like they were Lac La Biche police were looking for me, because my family knew that I wouldn't go and tell them that I wasn't okay, and then tell them that I was doing this for 2 days. This other girl grabs me, she tackles me to the ground, puts her hand over my mouth, and tells me to shut up, and if I scream, she's going to kill me. I could see the police lights and the sirens going off. They were going from house to house looking for me. And I don't know what happened after that. I then remember being inside a vehicle in the middle of the back seat, and they were telling me to text my family and tell them that I was okay. And I remember telling them, I'm not okay, and they said, what's going on? I said, I'm okay, and I deleted the messages. And that's all that I remember. And then again, I black out and back again at that house, and they were holding a knife to me in a corner, and they were threatening my life. I have no idea what was going on, but they kept threatening my life and telling me that I'm the one that caused this, that this is my fault, and I didn't know what to do but stand there and tell them, kill me then, because anything was better than what I was going through at that moment. I just said, like, you're talking to me, I'm suicidal and depressed. I would much rather die than to deal with you guys and this bullshit. I said, just kill me. If you're going to kill me, just kill me. And I blacked out again. And when I woke up, finally, when the drugs or whatever it was that was in my system, when that was all gone, I woke up with my pants unbuttoned, and I didn't feel anything. I didn't think that anything was different or anything. I woke up and the guy told me that my stuff was in the car and that his friend was going to drive me back into Lac La Biche. And when I got there, I broke down. I had family there, and they let me use the phone to get a hold of my mom, and my mom come and picked me up. and took me to the police station, and I explained to them what happened, but there wasn't a whole lot that they could do. They did nothing. The police have never done anything for me. They did nothing. And I went home, and for 2 weeks I was traumatized. I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't leave the house. I would not leave my mom's side. It was really hard to go through all of that and still think that there was any hope left in the world or within myself, any reason to go on living after that. But again, I picked up my guitar and I sang until I mended my own heart, and I found it within myself to forgive these people that did this to me. I didn't want to be a victim. I didn't want to be a victim to any of it. Not to the bullying, not to, the family dysfunction and the residential schools and suicide and depression. I didn't want to be another victim to domestic violence. I've always stood up. For some reason, and I don't know why, these things had always kind of kept happening to me, and I kept going through something. And the PTSD, for the longest time, I didn't know that I had it, and it would take over my life somehow and make me fall back in addiction. And it was being aware of all of that stuff, and the counseling, and the going out there to find the right people, the friends that I have now today. They're my family, the people that support me, and now my fans. That's what got me through it. But music is the very center of all of it. Like I said, if it wasn't for music, I would not have met the people that I know today. It would not have given me the courage to go out there and speak about my life, or to encourage others to just keep pursuing the one thing that they're proud of, that they're passionate about, or that they're good at, they're very talented. It's just, music is the very core of all of it, because it taught me how to stand up in front of people and have a voice. It taught me how to face my fears, and it taught me how to be happy.
I'm standing at a crossroads, looking in all directions but going nowhere, 'cause I'm lost. The face inside, it haunts me like a past that abandoned me long ago. I'm alone. I'm seeking and searching for reasons to explain the way I am, but who am I? Not finding the answers aggravates the feelings that I run from, 'cause I force myself to smile, even when it hurts, just for the sake of you. I hide the ugly truth. I want you to go, I want you to stay. I let you in, then push you away. I can't help fighting what I am. I'm standing still, watching life pass by, holding back tears cause I'm ashamed to cry. And all you hear are whispers when I scream. Who have I become? I don't know who I am. Where have I gone? Please help me find the girl that I was, 'cause I'm lost and hurting and broken and afraid to be alone. I'm tired and weary. Please come and save me from myself, from myself. When I look into the mirror, I can't recognize the person staring back at me. Is that me?
Do you have any last words to say?
I just want to encourage those out there that have stories like mine to not be afraid to talk about it. Every time I've gone through something, I've talked about it. I've told somebody, and I found the right people in my life now, today. And also, don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on the very thing that makes you happy or gets you through life struggles and the problems and issues that, you know, that we all face. We're all going to go through something in life. We're all going to have to figure out how to face them. And if you find something that you really love and you're really passionate about, like music, hang on to that, because it can get you somewhere. It can get you through it, and it can take you further than just getting through something. It can make you happy. It can get you to, you know, on that stage in front of those people. Let's see what, this is everybody's favorite song now that I sing, called 1,000 Miles Misery by Dwight Yoakam. Runway for flight 209. Teardrops fall, we start to climb. Window seat proof, take control.
just like the sun over the mountain tops. You know I'll always come again. You know I love to spend my mornings in the sunlight dancing on your skin. I've never gone so wrong as to telling lies to you. What you see is what I am. There is nothing I could hide from you. You see me better than I can. Out on the road that lies before me now, there are some turns where I will spin. I only hope that you can hold me now, till I can gain control again. Just like the lighthouse, you must stand alone. Landmark a safe journey's end. No matter what sea I've been sailing on, I'll always come back home again. Out on the road that lies before me now, there are some turns where I will spin. I only hope that you can hold me now, till I can gain control